in the YouTube to just review.
Yeah.
So welcome everyone. Now we're already 10. This time it looks like we have even from Germany participant. So maybe we can make small introduction round from each other like last time. So my name is Kaspars. I'm from Liepāja, from Latvia. I'm the chairman of the UBC Safe Cities Commission, and I'm the head of analytical department of Liepāja Municipal Police. So maybe we can go then from Germany. So Fassbinder from Greifswald, I understand.
Yes.
So could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hello. My name is Stefan Fassbinder. I'm the Lord Mayor of Greifswald.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Then I'll go just in alphabetical order. Then Evelyn from Tartu, I suppose. Yeah.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Hello.
Hello, I'm Evelyn Uberman from Tartu City Government, and I'm a crisis management coordinator.
Yeah, hello, thank you. Then Torbjörn. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Torbjörn Lindström, Southwest Finland Emergency Services Development Manager.
Hello, yeah. Then Maki Tero. Hello, you should probably unmute your microphone, Maki.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hi everybody. I'm Tero Mäki from Vaasa and security department from Ostrobothnia, and I'm here an executive officer, and I follow this meeting that I get information from those matters is COVID-19 pandemic.
Hello. Next is Maria.
Hello, Kaspars and everybody.
Hello.
Yes, so my name is Maria Nykyri and I work as a communications officer at the Southwest Finland Emergency Services, and that means I'm situated in Turku.
Okay, thank you. Rafał.
Hello, my name is Rafał Nagórski. I'm from Darłowo, Poland. I work as a plenipotentiary of the mayor of Darłowo. I work in the city office of Darłowo.
Okay, thank you. Rein, please.
Hello, my name is Reinhard. I am head of communal service, city of Tartu, and member of crisis commission.
Thank you. Susanna Slotekok.
Everybody, I'm Susanna Slotekok and I'm also representing the city of Vaasa, just as Tero Mäki is. I'm not part specifically in this commission, but I wanted to join you and listen to what you have done in your own cities regarding these historical times that we're living in. And I have also gathered some general data about what we have done in our city. So I'm the external relations officer here. Okay,
thank you. Great. Of course, you're open for everyone from the UBC and outside as well. And the last one is Tore Almlöv.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Tore Almlöv from the municipality of Karlskrona. And in fact, we have two persons here also, Pia Kronängen.
Hello, everybody.
And unfortunately, our ordinary member in the Safety Commission, Anders Wiklander, has had no possibilities to participate today. But we are here for listening and learn, I think. And Pia, you can.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. My name is Pia Kronängen, and I work as a research officer here at the city of Karlskrona and a demographic analyst.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, a little bit about analyzing the COVID-19 situation for the region and following and doing some kind of scenarios and so forth.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, last time we had a small discussion about our work in during the virus, during the crisis. We shared our experience. Maybe this time we can start with the ones who participated last time. Do you have some kind of changes or updates, what you have done differently, or maybe you already get rid of some restrictions like some other countries are starting to do or planning to do? So how about Estonia? Do you have changed something in your work regarding the virus from the last time before 2 weeks?
Maybe Evelyn explain our situation.
Okay. In Estonia, there are about 1,400 positive cases officially. So the number is slowly growing, but not that fast anymore as 2 weeks ago. There are a bit more than 100 people in hospitals due to COVID-19. At the moment in Tartu city, there are officially 35 COVID positive cases. That means that the number is fortunately low and has been increased very, very slowly. In Estonia, there are discussions about exit strategy at the moment, but for sure our emergency situation is at least until 1st of May, and there are no discussions about to end it earlier. So there are some discussions to prolong it for 2 weeks, but our government should make this decision after 1 week. So it depends on how the number of positive cases, official positive cases, is developing. Our schools are still closed, but they have planned to slowly open some schools for small groups and for those pupils who have to graduate the high school and to do final exams. But in a traditional way, seems that our schools remain closed until the end of the school year. Our medical system is not overloaded, so this is very good, and it's because the number of patients who need extra help is not very high. We have had quite big problems with masks and gloves and other protective assets, but now it seems that the import of this protective assets has been much better than 2 weeks ago. What else? Main hotspots in Estonia are first in Saaremaa. It's one Estonian biggest island. There are more than 500 positive cases, which is all in all 1/3 of all Estonian positive cases. And another hotspots are in social care houses of elderly people. There are several hotspots all over Estonia, but fortunately they are not very not that many positive cases as we were afraid of. What else? Do you have any questions?
Okay, if there's no questions, then maybe thank you. The questions, then we can do it later in general questions. Okay, thank you from Estonia, from Tartu, and maybe now Rafał from Poland can update about their activities.
Okay. Here in Poland, we've got a lot of restrictions, new restrictions from the last hour meeting. We have one very important duty from today, from April the 16th, the obligation to cover the mouth and nose in public places. There are some exceptions, but in the general rule is that when you leave the house, you must cover your mouth and nose with a mask or a piece of clothing. This will last until further notice. We don't know how long it will last, this restriction. We've got a lot of old and some of new restrictions in movement. We can only move to when we are going to shopping or we are going to work. Children may leave the house only under adult supervision. We cannot use parks, forests, beaches, boulevards, promenades, and city bikes. There are a lot of restrictions of moving. We've got restrictions on the number of people in stores and markets. Only 3 people for every 1 cash point in market. We've got still restaurant closure, restrictions on the activities of cultural institutions, restrictions on religious events. A maximum of 5 people can stay in churches, for example. These restrictions will be until Sunday, April the 19th. And today the Polish government maybe they will inform about suspended of some of these restrictions. For example, we are expected to suspend access to forests and beaches from 19th April. Until Sunday, 26th April, we've got closing of schools and universities, kindergartens, closure of passengers, air traffic. And we've got closing of our borders until Sunday, May 3rd, 3rd May. In global situation in Poland, we have 7,500 of infected people. We've got 286 people have died on coronavirus. We don't have any single infected person in Darłowo in our city yet. The city of Darłowo started to supply inhabitants with protective masks well in advance, and this plan was done very well in our city. Until yesterday, with the help of employees of the municipal enterprise and employees of the city guard, and nearly 17,000 of masks were distributed, which is several thousand more than the number of all residents of Darłowo. This action is still ongoing and includes 3 stationary points to which every resident of Darłowo can still apply for face masks. Not every city in Poland decided to buy masks for their inhabitants. Not every city was managed to give these masks to all of their residents, but in Darłowo we've done it very well. In connection with the new obligation to cover the mouth and nose in public places, the mayor of Darłowo decided that the city guard should not punish residents in the first days of breaking this rule. Instead of a fine, the resident get a mask from our municipal city guard. This action was met with a positive response from our inhabitants. So this is short information from Poland. As I said, today the government will decide how long the restrictions will last in our country. Thank you very much.
Okay, dziękuję bardzo. Thank you very much. Before going further, I will just as well jump in with a small update about Latvia. We have our emergency state till May 12th, but of course, with possibility to prolong it. All schools are closed. All studies in universities and schools are taking place in online environment. The people can't move more than 2 people together, or if they are members of family or of the same home or house, they can move more than 2 people together. All playgrounds are closed. A lot of people are going to forests outside the city to walk around. Easter time, it was a little bit complicated because of all the public events. Even though they are closed, but the religious events, they were kind of open for public, but up to 25 people could participate. But still the churches tried to find some loopholes and invited more people and closed their doors. But similarly, like in Darlovo, we try not to make the punishments as first. At first we just give a warning, and then we put the name in the list, and for the second time, if they will not obey the rules, for the second time they will then be punished. In Latvia, in general, there has been one person who was ill with the virus, so he got 2 times maximum penalty for violating the rules, because he had to be at home, but he left the home on many occasions. So, and 2 times they did catch him and put maximum penalty, which is 2,000 euros per one time. But there is nothing else what they can do. They can't punish him to put in some hospital because he's not so ill. In Latvia at the moment we have 675 confirmed cases of virus in the peoples. But yeah, that's just an official made statistic. I know that in Lithuania in last weekend there was closed cities. So of course, if you lived in the city, you could go into the city, but if you were not from that city, you couldn't get into the city with your public transport or with your car. It was forbidden, and everyone as well, like in Poland now, they had to wear masks while being out in public places. I'm not sure if they will continue that now to this week, but yeah, in the weekend it was because of the Easter time. It was a bit harsher rules in Lithuania. So that's in short from my side, and maybe we can move forward now to Finland, and we can continue with.
Excuse me, from Karlskrona. We have a little bit lack of time. Could we?
Yeah, of course you can. Then,
Finland?
yeah, please. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I have to rush to another meeting shortly.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, in Sweden, as you may be aware of, we don't have that strict regulations as in many other countries, but we do have a sort of directions for us to follow, and no gatherings more than 50 persons, and so on. And the universities are doing their studies digitally. They are not closed, but they are doing their work from home, and also the upper secondary schools. But all other schools are up and running as usual, and they who can work from home, they are instructed to do that. But it's not a lockdown, as you may be aware of. We are studying and following the situation in our region or our county, and doing analysis with regarding to what differences from the other parts of the country. In Sweden, it's very much concentrated, the amount of infected with COVID-19 disease in Stockholm region, the capital region, and the regions bordering to Stockholm. And Blekinge, that is our county, our region, is very few cases that is in the present situation. We have 43 persons infected as of today. And that is, together with the island of Gotland, the lowest incidence in the whole country. But the regulations that we have and the directions we have, they are the same for the whole country. So we think that we are going to have a situation that we are going to cope with for the hospitals and so on. So we are using this time and period to be prepared to handle the situations to come, so to speak. Do you want to say something else?
No, I have nothing to add to that Pia said. And here is the situation not yet so serious as in the Stockholm region, as Pia mentioned. And so we are waiting and see and preparing. And we hope that we are going to be more lucky than the Stockholm region, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, before you run, maybe there are some questions from others to you. If not, then I may ask, did Rafał want to ask?
What do you think about restrictions in other countries? What do you think about restrictions like in Poland, Latvia, to compare with Swedish restrictions?
I don't know if it's up to us to say something about that, but I think that everybody are doing the actions that they see as necessary. I can't say anything else about that. We do the actions that we see necessary here, and that is working and is working over time. That is the thing that is most important for us.
In Poland, we've got a big discussion about a Swedish model of fighting with COVID-19 and coronavirus. There are a lot of questions about your style of fighting with this coronavirus pandemic, and it's hard to say which kind of way is better.
We don't have the
or Swedish way.
Yeah.
We can't know that for sure at this time, but I think we do have the same goal with all our measures, but the means are different. So it's too early for us to say which one is the most lucky, but all have to do what they feel and think is necessary, and it has to be long term, I'm afraid.
Yeah, today in the local newspaper we had an article about Sweden that the lack of the rules like in other countries, but what was interesting that today was the Latvians who are living in Sweden, they said that the Swedes don't need rules because they are already careful themselves, not like in our cases, like we have rules but still people don't think with their head at some point.
So you have to see in the cultural context also. Yeah. So we are doing the same thing in many ways, but
I think it's right that if we have some recommendations from a Swedish authority, it's the most rule for Sweden.
It's a direction.
Yes, you are right, I think, and that's cultural questions, of course.
Yeah.
So we are sitting far apart, so we can't.
We have 2 meters behind between us here. Also.
We are following in that, also in the office.
Great to see. And one more question. Last time we had discussions that there are some kind of support systems from the governments to the enterprises, for example, for the standby when there is no production because of the coronavirus. Is there something in Sweden similar too?
Yes, there is, and they are presenting new initiatives almost every day that is going to aim to help the economy also in the long term to handle this crisis. So there is many initiatives in that area from the government, of course, and also locally. So there is much creativity and innovation in handling this crisis, both short term and also in long term.
Okay, thank you. We have one new guest arrived, Heiken and Satu. Could you introduce yourself? Hello.
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 Yes, my name is Satu and I'm representing city of Jyväskylä in Finland. Nice to see you, or at least hear you.
So hello. Thank you for introduction. We will give your word a little bit later. Maybe there is still some questions to Swedish representatives from Karlskrona.
I'm sorry?
No. Are there maybe some questions to Swedish partners? But if there is no questions, then maybe we can move forward. At this moment, we are updating what we are doing in our countries, in our cities regarding the virus. So now we are moving to Finland, and maybe at first I'll give word to Turku, then we could go to Jyväskylä and then to Vaasa. So Turku, please.
Yes, thank you, Kaspars. I don't know if very much has changed since we spoke last time. We have the emergency state. It is now going to be until mid of May. So that means our schools are closed, restaurants maybe will be opening to the last of May, but that's not sure yet. Restaurants, cafes and pubs. Children are working from home and most people who are able are also working from home. One change we had yesterday, we had the Uusimaa County was also closed from the rest of the world, but that was open yesterday. So now we are waiting to see what effects that will bring. Maybe a little bit. We have for the time being a little more than 3,000 affected people, 3,200 approximately, and tested we have almost 50,000. In the whole country, we just have 72 people dead from the COVID-19, and most of them are like really old people in elderly homes. For the time being, we also have people suffering from the COVID-19 in hospitals. We have 226 people in the whole country. So that's not so many. So it seems that something has been done in the right way here. From the fire and rescue point of view, we have a very normal situation here in Turku and in the southwest Finland region. So there we don't have any people on leave because of the virus. So I think that's an update for now.
Okay, thank you. But in your opinion, did the Uusimaa closure did improve something? The closing of the Uusimaa part.
It seems that the virus hasn't spread that much. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then maybe we can move to Jyväskylä. Do you have something to say to add?
To add something to the situation in Finland, well, maybe something about the schools. For instance, in Jyväskylä, we have some 97% of our basic education students are studying at home. So we are saying that we are not just doing the digital leap, but we are doing a triple leap just in a few days, because many teachers need to take new tools to take care of the teaching. Maybe something that's happening all around in Europe, that schools need to find out new tools for learning and teaching. And I think in Finland we haven't reached the peak of the situation, and there are not so many people in hospital at the moment. So, and people are very careful and trying to avoid situations where people are meeting in the shops and places like that. And it will be interesting to see, because the metropolitan area was closed a bit over 2 weeks, and now we are seeing what is happening when it's opened again. But there was the reason was that the situation is quite even in the whole Finland, even though most of the cases are in capital area. But in the sense, it's the virus has spread around Finland, and therefore there was no legal reasons or grounds for closing the metropolitan area anymore. But summer cottages are very important for Finnish people, and now those who are living in the metropolitan area, they have possibility to go to the summer cottages again, even though it's highly recommended not to go. But we will see what's happening when the summer is approaching.
Okay, kiitos. Then maybe we can. Did you want to add something more, or?
No, at the moment, no. I think few things.
Okay, thank you. And then maybe we can go more further up in Finland to Vaasa then.
Okay, thank you. If I start, Tero, and you continue, then I would say that the rest of Finland maybe is not so happy about that they opened the borders to Uusimaa. We thought they could have been closed a couple of weeks more, but let's see how they behave there. If they can stay at home, it's no problem for the rest of Finland, but we'll see. Regarding children, in Vaasa, we have started to distribute school meals to those who think they need it, and that took us by surprise. It was so many that actually wanted to have the school meals distributed. So we have some school kitchens open where parents can go and get the meals for the students. And of course, as in the rest of Finland, all kinds of cultural and sport facilities that are being owned by the city, like libraries, museums, swimming pools, indoor orchestras, theaters, all these are closed until further notice, at least until the end of. And then we have also decided to grant refunds for daycare fees.
You were cutting out a little bit. We didn't hear the date up till which one?
Well, let's say until the end of spring. We closed until the 13th of May is the decision for the moment. Yes. And then we have also granted refunds for daycare fees, since the children are at home, most of them at least. For senior citizens, we have started to call everyone that is over the age of 85. That means that we have 700 to 800 senior citizens in that age group in our city. So that's pretty many calls we have to make in order to make sure that they are okay and if they need some extra services and so on. And we have also started to do lots of cooperation with the third sector and also the churches, the congregations that if they can go and do some shopping for the elderly or in other ways help, they are most welcome to do that together with the city. We have also switched. Our political decision making is now being taken care of online. So all the city council meetings, city board meetings are online meetings. The public transportation has moved to summertime schedule since there are no one using our buses. New thing for Finland, and which is giving lots of work to all cities for the moment, is a support for micro companies, or actually sole entrepreneurs, of 2,000 euros that they will get if they apply for it. And that means that we have to do thousands and thousands of decisions in the coming weeks about this funding. We will get the funding 100% from the state, but at least I don't know when we will. But the cities will make the decisions for the moment. So the sole entrepreneurs have to apply from their own municipality where they are physically. Well, nothing else for the moment that I come to think of. Do you, Tero, want to add something?
Yes, I think so. Thank you, Kaspars. I think this from our own side that we have do something or a little bit more this cooperation with in other authorities and municipalities, and it's very active between them, and it helps us that we can prepare this what's happened next month, and we are a little bit more ready to take it in our tasks, and it's very active in this side, and we are two very it's more than I think that we have these meetings and contacts with example for our city here in Vaasa, and I think that our situation is now very quite peaceful, and we only waiting for the future what happened. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for the updates. I think we had from all participating cities someone to update about the situation. So maybe there are some questions to each other at the moment now. I'll be silent for a moment, so if there are some questions, please start asking. If not, then after this moment of the silence, I will continue then. So, are there some questions?
I have a questions to you in other countries than Finland, because I know that our universities are thinking about how to go about taking the new students in. Have you heard what they are going to do in your countries? Will they take only based on what the grades they got in high school, or and they will skip all the testing and so on, or do you know what the situation is in the university life?
In Estonia, they made the decision they must have 2 exams to enter the school, and when they want to go in the university, they must choose the third exam, and university show the result and take these fingers they in university.
Yeah, in Latvia, at least at the moment, there is no information. I was just trying as well to look, maybe there is some updates, but at the moment they are still waiting for the possible government decision, because there are still no clues if there will be this final exams at the secondary school. So they don't know if they will have the like exam note or something like that. So at the moment there is still no decision on that. So they will still wait, because there's still no, they don't know if they will take the exams or not at the end of the school year. So, but the studies in universities take place normally. Only the practices, they are not, the practical education, they are not taking place. So they are trying to move the study year now. For example, from the next year, they did now the academical training, and the practical training will be moved on to the next semester, if it will be fine then to have this physical contact like regularly.
In Poland, we've got no information about that. We are only, the university is only thinking about current situation, and we've got one information of terms of exams in secondary schools. They were postponed, and probably they will take place in June in Poland, and then I think we will have information about how the universities can take the students from the secondary schools.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there some more questions, please? So if there's no more questions, then I think we can conclude today. If you still want to talk about something, please let me know now. But if not, then do you think, do we need again the next meeting, the third meeting? How are you looking on that?
I think we can show in beginning the May which situation is there, and what happened in other countries with these rules.
If there's no other suggestions, I was thinking maybe about April 30th.
Maybe.
Or then the first week in the May. What would be better for you, the April 30th or first week of the May?
Maybe we know a little more in beginning the May.
I think the first week of the May will be better.
Okay, is it okay
May is
for you?
good.
is it okay for you to have the exactly 3 weeks, then May 7th at the same time?
Yes, yes.
That sounds good.
That's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
if there's no more questions or something to add, then see you in 3 weeks. Stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Kaspars.
Same
you
to
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Kasper.
Bye bye.
Bye.